Hello and welcome to today's Essential Words. My name is Izolda Trachtenberg and I'm really grateful that you're taking a few minutes of your day to spend them with me. Today I want to talk about prioritizing. When you have deadlines, well, let me go back just a little bit. Remember, this is a raw, real, unscripted, unedited episode, so you might see birds flying by behind me, you might see me flipping out over mosquitoes or bees or whatever. So just be aware, lots can happen. Anyway, I'm going to step back from prioritizing a little bit and ask you a question. Have you ever noticed how sometimes you have deadlines and all of them show up at once? And you're in this position of going, oh crap, I now have 14 things that are due at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Certainly I've double and triple booked myself on my calendar, but that's not what I mean. I mean that everything sort of converges so that it's all in one day or 1 hour. And here's what I mean. My week was pretty busy, and I've been waiting for my editor to get me my book back so that I can make the final changes. Originally, that was supposed to happen July 4th. She didn't get it to me, and I had budgeted the time to do that work then, but that wasn't going to happen because she didn't get me the book back. Okay. So then, bugs, sorry. So then she got me the book back at a time when all of a sudden I have these 3 proposals due tomorrow. And they're pretty big proposals that I was asked to do after a meeting on Tuesday, and I didn't get the book back from her until Tuesday night. So I have these 3 proposals due, and I have to get the book editing, finishing done so that I can get the book onto the next phase of publishing. And it's a book I'm really excited to bring people. It's the book that's going to teach people, it's going to teach you how to engage, excite, and motivate any audience. It's an amazing, amazing book about speaking from within and connecting with any audience. And I'm really excited about Speak From Within. It's going to be, I think, life-changing for a lot of people. So that part's great. But again, I have this stuff I have to do. Now all of a sudden I have these 3 proposals. And then I'm doing a workshop on communication and negotiation at Hood College on Tuesday. So here I am. It's Thursday. I have to do the book. I have to do 3 proposals. And I have to do this entire workshop development. Now, have I done the workshop before on negotiation? Parts of it. But in order to get everything so that it's exactly the way I want it to be, I really need to spend the bulk of the weekend working on it. And yet I'm also supposed to be doing the book. And yet I'm also supposed to be finishing these 3 proposals for 3 different workshops that I'm going to run county-wide. So there are a lot of things going on. Not to mention, I run a creative entrepreneur group, and I have a husband, and I have critters, and I have chores, and I have business development to do. So I have all sorts of stuff, all of these balls I'm keeping up in the air. And I have to edit. Oh yes, and to add to that, I have to edit my next podcast episode. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm having to prioritize. And I'm going, how am I supposed to do that? The podcast is due Wednesday. The workshop is due Tuesday. The book is due as soon as I can get it. And the proposals are due tomorrow. So how do you prioritize all that? What do you do? Okay, here's what I do. I sit down and I make a list of all the things that need to be done and their steps. And I divide everything into 3 steps apiece. Nothing is listed with 7 steps. It will be 1 chunk of the project, 3 steps. Then the next chunk of the project, 3 steps. Then the next chunk of the project, 1 step. I never try to do more than 3 steps at a time, because once we do that, our brains go, whoa, I don't know what to do. It's kind of like a phone number. Have you ever noticed that you go 301-555-1212? We have 3-digit area code, in part because it's easy for us to remember. We have a 3-digit exchange, and then the 4 digits, blah, 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 right? So it's important to note that our brains work really well in batches of 3. When you're trying to do something, when you're trying to prioritize and get into the details of it, detail it down into batches of 3. So write everything down that you need to do in batches of 3. Then print them out and cut them up if you need to, so that you have the name of the project and the steps and then organize them by due date or by importance. You get to choose. If one is really important, but it doesn't have a particular due date, maybe it's not quite so important, but if it is, okay, great, then prioritize it top. I do it by due date. If I know that I'm required to have something done by Friday, then, and it's Thursday, then by gum, that's what I focus on. If I'm required to have something done on Friday, Monday, and Wednesday, then Friday, Monday, and Wednesday. If it's a project that's huge and it's going to take me a lot of time and it's due on Wednesday and it's a really important project, I might prioritize it ahead of something that isn't so important and is smaller amounts of work. So you have to know what your priorities are in order to prioritize. But write everything out and chunk it in 3 in order to be able to do that. Alrighty, I'm going to be doing a lot more work with how to manage your to-do list and how to manage your time in the coming episodes. If you have questions, if there's something that you don't understand or there's something you're having trouble implementing with what I'm talking about, comment below and let me know. I'd love to hear from you about what is happening and how you're doing things. And perhaps I can help you navigate and negotiate all of that so that you're getting what you dream of in your life. Alrighty. Again, I thank you so much for joining me today. I'll be back tomorrow, and until then, I send you all my love.